Hello everyone, welcome back to BRC Smart Edu channel. Today we are back with Class 12 CBSE Biology Chapter 8 Microbes in Human Welfare. We are going to see Chapter 8 first because it is an easy chapter and it is also an important chapter. Chapter 7 will deal with how the microbes are causing diseases, how microbes are causing diseases to human beings, what are the types of diseases have been caused, and we will deal with this chapter later. So we will also make video for this chapter also, but later. So according to new NCRT, this is chapter 8, microbes in human welfare. What does the topic tells you about human welfare? Welfare means goodness of human, right? Welfare in the sense what? Goodness of humans. Goodness of humans. So in this chapter we will discuss how microbes are good or useful or helpful to human beings. So before entering into the video, if you are new to our channel, please subscribe our channel and click the bell icon so that you can get the videos to be updated regularly. So now let us get into the chapter. So before going into the chapter, I wanted to give the gist of the chapter on what we are going to talk about, because you have to know what are the things present in the chapter. First we will talk about the introduction. We talk about household products, how microbes are used in the household products. That means how microbes we use in the houses, right? So in houses we use the microbes for preparing what? For preparing curd, for preparing batter. So you eat, no, you eat idlis, dosas and all, that is also prepared from this microbes only. Okay, and coming to next, industrial products. So in large scale also we produce bacteria for various purposes, to produce alcohols, okay, to produce alcohols, to produce antibiotics. So now also COVID came. So for COVID, we need to have vaccines, right? So we need to have vaccines. So the vaccines are prepared. That is also prepared, okay, due to this industrial products. So preparation of vaccines will also come under here. Okay, preparation of vaccines are also and useness of industrial products. Then sewage treatment. So sewage, a lot of waste are being collected. Lot of waste from each and every house is being collected. That waste, okay, that waste are being cleaned. Okay, that is called a sewage treatment. Okay, human excreta is being collected in the sewage, and that human excreta is being cleaned. So how the process, what are the bacteria we use, we will deal it. Okay, then biogas production. So it is very useful and important for biogas production also. So like methanogens, that will all we use, no, for biogas production, that also we will read in detail. Okay, then we will also read about biocontrol agents, like we read about how to control the pest. Okay, pest and diseases caused to the plants, right? Diseases that are being caused, okay, all that. Then biofertilizers means you use organic farming. For organic farming, what are the things that you can use, like that we deal with all these things in detail in this chapter. But for today we are going to talk about the introduction and household products only. Okay, in the next few sessions, that is, this is a part 1 session of this video, right? So in part 1 session we discuss introduction and household products. So in the next few sessions we discuss about industrial products, and hopefully we complete this. See, this we'll discuss in part 2 session. This we discuss in part 3 session overall. So within part 3 session itself we can complete this chapter, that very easy chapter. So today we are going to deal with introduction and household products. Come on, let's go. You already know how microbes are harmful to human beings. So, you know that various diseases have been caused by microbes, right? Various diseases like, malaria, dengue, okay, various types of diseases like AIDS, okay. Um, so all these are some of the examples of diseases that are being caused by microbes. So microbes, under microbes you can get you can get virus or you can get bacteria. Okay, bacteria. You can get protozoa. Okay, protozoa. Okay, you can get a lot of varieties. So microbes are the one which we can see through microscopes, right? So apart from causing diseases and causing harmful to human beings, it also acts as a friend to human beings. Apart being a foe, it also being a friend to human being. In what ways? So we use microbes in lot of areas for our own benefits. So it is very much helpful for our own benefit. So what are the places we use microbes for our own benefits? We use microbes for making curd. Do you remember your mother always makes curd and you will enjoy eating curd rice, right? And you use curds for eating various other dishes also. Okay, right? So, like curd is a very important thing that everybody knows. It is made up of a bacteria, but lactobacillus, right? Lactobacillus, right? Everybody knows that the curd is made out of a bacteria. So curd is very very important and it is superb item that we need to eat. So apart from curd, the bread that we eat, the cheese that we eat, the batter that we eat, no? So with the help of the batter we eat idli. Microbes. So microbes can be present everywhere. You know a lot about microbes, right? So microbes means they can be present everywhere, everywhere. Okay, so they can be present in air, they can be present in water. Okay, they can be present in anywhere, right? So in clothes. Okay, wherever. So anywhere microbes can be present. We can't say microbes are absent until and unless the area is sterile in nature. We have already learnt about the word sterile. What do you mean by sterile? Sterile in the sense sterile air. That means the air that does not have contamination with any of the microbe. Until the place is sterile or until the place is sanitized, microbes will be completely present over there. So microbes have different conditions. They can even stay at high temperature or high um, climatic condition. Okay, high temperature climatic condition. Okay, climatic condition it can be present. High temperature in the sense it can be too hot or too cold. Too cold. They can stay in both the condition. They can stay in too hot condition or they can stay in too cold condition also. So microbes can be present in these areas. Okay, so they have the ability to mutate faster. Okay, because they are the small organism, they have the ability to mutate faster and they can mutate faster and grow faster. Okay, right. So actually, microbes. One more point I have to add over here. See, microbes like fungi. Microbes like fungi. So they will grow. So microbes like fungi can be grown in certain mediums. Can be grown in certain nutritive mediums. Grown in nutritive mediums to form colonies. To form colonies. So when the fungi are grown in a nutritive medium, we will make the fungi to grow in a nutritive medium. They form colonies. So these type of formation of colonies can be seen by us through naked eyes. Can be seen by us through naked eyes. So we can able to see the growth of the fungi. That helps us to study a lot about the growth of fungi and everything. Okay, so actually the use that we are going to discuss is about. So first we are going to discuss about the microbes in household products. Microbes, how they are useful. Microbes in household products. So when I write microbes in household product, what comes to your mind first? Household, what are the things we use in household? Now only I gave you a hint in the introduction part, what I told you. See, microbes in household products. So actually what I'm coming to tell is, see, microbes in household products, first everybody will talk about a famous thing called curd, right? Everybody will talk about household, in the sense curd is prepared from lactic acid bacteria. This lactic acid bacteria can also be called as lactobacillus. Lactobacillus. Lactobacillus can also be called as what? Lactobacillus can also be called as lactic acid bacteria. Lactic acid bacteria. We usually call it as with a small abbreviation, lab. We usually call it as lab, LAB, lab. Okay, so they have nothing but lactic acid bacteria. Okay, so that is helpful for, see how the curd is being prepared. You might have seen how your mother prepares the curd, right? So first she will take the milk, she will boil the milk and she will make the milk to come to the room temperature. Once the milk is being at the room temperature, she will add some amount of previously prepared curd, a few amount or a few drops of previously prepared curd she will add to the milk. So that after a few hours, okay, after a few hours, you can able to observe the milk had been turned into curd, a thick structure it had been turned. So first she's taking what? She's taking milk. That milk, okay, is converted into curd when she adds a little bit of curd. Okay, so when she adds a little of curd to the milk, at that time only the milk is getting converted to curd. That little of curd acts here as an inoculum or starter. So that is added initially for initiating the process. So that one we call it as inoculum, inoculum or starter. Okay, so the milk to which a little amount of curd is added, that little amount of curd is called as inoculum or starter. That will initiate the process and a lot of lactic acid bacteria starts to grow, due to which the milk is converted into curd, right? So already here a lot of lactobacillus bacteria will be present. Already here the bacteria will be present. That bacteria goes to milk and it starts to multiply here and it will give you the result to be as a curd, right? Now what happens when this lactic acid bacteria is entering into the milk? Okay, so now what happens is when you add a inoculum or a starter into the milk, the bacteria, lactic acid bacteria starts to multiply. The lactic acid in the milk, what will happen? The lactic acid bacteria, the lab bacteria will start to multiply. Okay, so their multiplication will produce, okay, their multiplication produce certain acids. Okay, they will produce acid. Okay, so that is going to coagulate the milk. Okay, coagulate the milk and partially digest the protein, milk protein. Okay, that is going to coagulate. Okay, coagulate the milk and partially digest, the milk protein, milk protein. Okay, so they are going to partially digest the milk protein. Okay, due to which, so since they are partially digesting the milk protein, due to which what will happen? Due to which the milk is becoming into curd and it is becoming very thick. So for it to become from milk to curd, it needs certain suitable temperature. So with the help of certain suitable temperature, it will convert, it will multiply and become into curd. So this curd, okay, this curd is rich in vitamin B12. This curd is rich in vitamin B12 and it checks the gut line. Okay, for any disease causing microbes. Okay, it plays a beneficial role in checking the gut line for disease causing disease causing microbes. Okay, for disease causing microbes. So are you clear with this? Prepare the bread or dough. So we are also preparing the bread or dough from bacteria, right? So bread is prepared from a yeast. Okay, bread is prepared from yeast. So that name of the yeast is nothing but it is Saccharomyces cerevisiae. It is nothing but it is sacro Saccharomyces cerevisiae. Okay, so this is the name of the yeast that is used for preparing the bread. Since this yeast is used to prepare the bread, we call this yeast as baker's yeast. We call this yeast as baker's yeast. Okay, baker's yeast. Okay, this Saccharomyces cerevisiae is also called as baker's yeast. Okay, so that is used for preparing the bread. So once the yeast is added into a bread, what will happen? The yeast will do anaerobic respiration. Okay, anaerobic respiration therefore releases a lot of carbon dioxide that will make the bread to become. See, initially if the bread is something like this, so after adding the yeast and after you left it for some time, the bread will become something like this, big, right? So the dough that you have prepared for making bread will become something like this. So that is due to the presence of yeast, and the yeast is called as a baker's yeast. The name of the baker's yeast is nothing but Saccharomyces cerevisiae. Are you clear? Yes. Now, you so we studied about the baker's yeast, right? So apart from that, we also eat idlis and dosas that are prepared from certain batters, right? We eat idlis and dosas that are prepared from certain batter. Okay, this batter is allowed to ferment. So that fermentation process will take place, through which, see, initially if this is a vessel, no, if this is a vessel and initially if this is a range of the batter that is present, after, if you see, after the fermentation the batter will be something like this. So initially it was like this, after the fermentation like this. That is also due to the release of carbon dioxide only. Okay, so batter, we are eating the batter, okay, that is fermented. Okay, fermented, that we consume it as idlis and dosas. Okay, so that is also an action of microbes. So apart from that, we also have a traditional drink in south part of India. Okay, in South India, we have a traditional drink. We have a traditional drink. So what is a traditional drink is nothing but the traditional drink named as toddy. Okay, so this is a traditional drink that is made by fermenting the palm saps. Okay, so fermenting the sap from palm. Okay, so see, fermenting the sap from palm. Okay, so from palm tree only we get this toddy drink. Okay, so it is a traditional drink in South India, south part of India. So where you are fermenting the sap from the palm, so that you are getting this toddy drink. It is mild alcoholic content is present in this toddy drink. So apart from this toddy drink, we also talk about various other fermentation. So we also ferment fishes, we also ferment fishes, we ferment soya beans, we ferment bamboo saps, okay, or bamboo shoots, we ferment bamboo shoots, okay, we ferment all these things also, we ferment fishes, we ferment soya beans, we ferment bamboo shoots, all this also we ferment. So, and so apart from this, where we use bacteria or fungi or the microbes in our day-to-day life. So one of the important area where we use is, see, cheese. No, everybody likes cheese. Okay, so everybody love cheese. So tell me who don't love pizza? So everybody love pizza, right? So everybody love pizza. So for making pizza, what is an important ingredient? That is cheese. Okay, so for making lots of dishes like sandwich, burger or pizza or whatever we make, we use cheese in them. Cheese gives a cheesy flavor, and we people love that cheesy flavor. Wherever cheesy flavor are there, we used to like it and we used to eat it. Everybody like cheese, so let us deal with the cheese very interestingly and in detail. Okay, so cheese is also made up of microbe. So we are going to learn about two different types of cheese. One is the Swiss cheese. Swiss cheese. Okay. Another one we are going to talk about is Roquefort cheese. Okay. Roquefort cheese. Okay. So now when we discuss about the Swiss cheese, see, cheese means you have different type of cheese, but we are discussing only about two different type of cheese in detail. Okay, because see, various types of cheese are there which have different flavors, different taste, different texture, different structure. Okay, so we have different types of cheese, out of which we are discussing only about two different type of cheese. One is Swiss cheese, another one is Roquefort cheese. So you have different flavors, different structure, different flavors, okay, etc. So out of which are discussing only two different types of cheese over here. When we discuss about the Swiss cheese is made up of bacteria. Okay, so actually what is a bacteria that is responsible for the preparation of Swiss cheese is nothing but it is Propionibacterium shermani is the name of the bacteria that is helpful for preparing the Swiss cheese. What is a bacteria? The bacteria is nothing but Propionibacterium, Propionibacterium, Propionibacterium shermani. It is the name of the bacteria that is helpful for preparing this Swiss cheese. Actually, the Swiss cheese will have a big holes, or you can call it as the Swiss cheese usually have huge holes in them. This huge holes in them is due to the more production of carbon dioxide by this bacteria. So this bacteria will produce a large amount of carbon dioxide, which will result in the formation of huge holes in them. So this bacteria is called as Propionibacterium shermani. Okay, so now when you talk about Roquefort cheese is prepared with the help of what? It is prepared with the help of a specific fungi. Okay, prepared with the help of a specific fungi. Okay, specific fungi. Okay, so actually, which gives its particular flavor. Okay, so Roquefort cheese is prepared with specific fungi, but it is prepared with bacteria. It is prepared with fungi, right? So that is what given in your textbook. You have to do. Okay, so these are the uses of the bacteria in your household products, day-to-day household products. So let's recap what we have studied. So first we discussed about. So first initially we discussed we discussed about the curd. Curd is formed from lactobacillus bacteria or lactic acid bacteria lab. This lab will produce certain acid that will make the milk to be converting into curd by coagulating it and partly digesting the milk protein, right? So, and when we talk about the formation of milk to curd, the particular few amount of curd is acting as an inoculum or a starter, which helps the milk to multiply into a large number of lactobacillus in it and convert it into a curd. So curd will contain rich in vitamin B12 and it will also be helpful for what purpose? It will check the gut line. Okay, it will check the gut line. Okay, so for any disease causing microbe. Then we discussed about what? We discussed about bread. Okay, bread which is prepared from baker's baker's yeast. Baker's yeast can also be called as saccharomyces, sacro saccharomyces cerevisiae. Okay, Saccharomyces cerevisiae, baker's yeast, and we discussed about it. This yeast will release a lot of carbon dioxide that makes the bread to become fluffy. And apart from that, we also discussed about the batter that is being prepared, that used to prepare idlis and dosas. Okay, then we discussed about the third one. We discussed about what? Toddy. Toddy, which is a very much popular drink in South India or traditional drink. It is a traditional drink in South India. South India, that is being made from sap, sap of palm tree. Okay, that is made up of sap of palm tree. So that is what we discussed about toddy. Later we discussed about what? We discussed about the cheese, and we also discussed that we also ferment. Okay, this is also by the process called fermentation, and we also talked about we ferment fishes. We also ferment fishes. Okay, we ferment fishes. We ferment soya beans. Okay, soya beans, and we ferment bamboo shoots also, right? Bamboo shoots, this also we ferment. Okay, we ferment. Later we discussed about cheese. So in cheese we discussed about the Swiss cheese. Swiss cheese, the Swiss cheese has a lots of big holes in them. Big holes in them. This is due to the production of large amount of carbon dioxide. Okay, the Swiss cheese is prepared from a bacteria. The name of the bacteria is nothing but Propionine, Propionine bacterium shermani. Okay, Propionine bacterium shermani. Later we discussed about what? Roquefort cheese. Roquefort cheese. Right, so these are the things that we have discussed in this session, and hope you have liked this video. So finally, thank you so much for watching this video. Okay, so finally